There we go.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. There's a motion by Allison.
I'll second.
And a second by Josh. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Next item is approval of the minutes from the 11/10/25 meeting. Any questions, comments, changes? The motion by Kayla.
Second.
And a second by Allison. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. And approval of the treasurer's report. On your paperless board meeting for your review.
We have to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
Motion by Allison. Second by Caleb. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. And then approval of the invoices. Mr. Murphy, are there any that you would like to call our attention to?
Yes, we do have a few on there. We do have our October billable credits for Graduation Alliance. They came in at $162,534.71. And then also we have our foundation repair for the Wilson Library building. We did get that wrapped up, finished. That was for $10,685.76. And then I do want to call your attention to one of the items on there that had a whole bunch of listings, was the state books that are on there. So the state books those are library books that were ordered for our library that were $21.67 a piece that are individually listed on there that came to a total of $476. So, and then we also had the down payment for our modular unit out of capital that was $250,000 for the down payment for our modular that we spoke about at the past few board meetings. So those were the big ticket items for this month, and then one to help you not maybe be confused when you look at those individual books.
Any other questions?
There's a couple entries for gravel and then some rock. Was it going to the same place?
No, we had some put back here at the high school, middle school, and then we had some put at the elementary school in Wilson. The back area back there had some kind of divots back there as well, so we got some gravel rock to put in there as well to try to kind of level that out. And it also helps with trying to get the water away from that foundation of that building too.
Motion to approve the invoice and test.
Second.
Motion by Kayla and a second by Allison. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Reconciliation of the cash balances report, and those documents are attached for your review. Any questions on that? Okay. Item number 7, recognition of visitors. And just as a reminder, you will have 5 minutes, and this is a chance for you to address the board, but it is not a back and forth discussion. And first is Roberta Meyer.
Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I appreciate any chance I get, and I'm glad to be back again. I'm here to address the ongoing educational needs of students in the 112 area. With the oath, you adopted the children of USD 112, and I think that's important to realize you adopted them. They expect, care. You also adopted the culture and climate, facilities, staff, students, and Kansas law. In 2009, the culture and climate in this district felt like Christmas. It was the perfect time to unwrap the Kansas Consolidation Incentive Gift. USD 354 Claflin asked to join the party with USD 328 Quivira Heights Wilson. Quivira Heights Wilson, or Claflin, transformed into the Central Plains Oilers. Building grade level assignments were adjusted based on proximity and to eliminate duplication of services. Now, my husband says this all the time. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, it'd be Christmas every day. Unfortunately, it's not. And the state incentive went away in 2015 with a revenue reduction of $1.5 million. The fate of USD 112 is either going to continue to climb to success or it could struggle. Enrollment must be down, I would guess, due to the closures and the losses of Wilson students. The student retention recruitment, it became a top priority. I better go faster. Why aren't the alarms going off? How can 112s maintain this district for the long run without the money generating students? Has anyone calculated the income expense ratio for 112, including calculating student look-back averaging? Transportation, give a little more if you want more students at your door. Middle ground, give and take should be, or plan to see the parents flee. There's, I think, a time for rigidity and there's a time for exemptions. I've seen some things with the needs of at-risk kids, foster kids specifically, that because of and I don't know if it was a day-to-day operation or a board decision, that some foster children have, been delayed with services. A one-year delay, however, of a closure to remove hazardous road conditions, a bridge out, and a detour, sandy roads, lengthy minimum maintenance, spotty, no cell reception, without a test drive, felt like kids didn't matter. Their safety, I feel, was ignored. And hopefully that doesn't happen again. Building adequacy and conditions. Safety is a must, not cancer-causing dust. Give a full account or you'll surely scare parents out. Asbestos, missing inspections with no O&M plan on file raises concerns. To accommodate, space allotments, let them see the plans going forward. Plans, parents want to know what to expect. Otherwise, it's uncertain and it seems unstable. To accommodate the students that were expected to come south with the influx of kids and maybe younger siblings, that would have been no small feat to carry out in a quick timeline. Overcrowding already existed in the buildings. It seemed unrealistic. Budget and financial considerations. Numbers are in line. 5 years is plenty fine. I think 5 years should be expected. Cost sharing with a lease could benefit more districts. Please consider any offers that develop. It's a shame the first lease agreement was dropped surprisingly after a 6-1 vote with no further explanations. It was a drop the mic moment. It left many questioning. Think outside the box. If it's possible for a public-private school lease, is it possible for 2 public schools to have a lease? One half a building, one half a building, based on the district's needs of those receiving districts. Maybe one needs a gym, maybe one needs something else. Can USD 112 continue to negotiate with interested parties? A win for students and a win for Kansas. Climate and culture hit an all-time low, sadly, in the summer of 2023. KSA 72-635 was a fallout of that event. Proximity to other schools in this area is a reality. Open enrollment now in place. Realignments would bring grace. If one or more districts is interested in a land transfer, would you be interested? Since 2 buildings reside under one roof, uniquely, there is a sharing option Could the receiving district split the land or the facility? Please keep asking questions. Thank you for the opportunity to share my ideas on education on behalf of all the students in this area. Thank you.
Leslie Bopa.
Thanks for giving me this time with you. I got a couple questions for you here from EPA and adherent compliance questions. The first one is, did USD 112 formally submit the September 16, 2024 Darrell Limple Consulting Asbestos Management Plan to the EPA and in full compliance with adherent requirements? If so, which responsible district officer certified that submission? Okay, number two. Why did the October 17, 2024 Olympic Asbestos Report not require USD 112 to establish an operations and maintenance plan? Was that the decision based on the actual amount of asbestos in our schools? And have all required records been submitted to the EPA under ADHERA and made available to the public as federal law requires? So, I want to thank you, and I just want to let you know that this is not going to go away, never. Thank you.
Item number 8 are administrative reports.
On December 4th, Mrs. Robinson and I gave our 6th graders in our building the Communities of Care survey. It is an anonymous survey that we also give to our 8th graders, the sophomores and the seniors. And it does help the communities understand what's going on, the challenges that they face, and some of the other things that we can help build on in the communities. Our 4th grade student of the week is Liam Ryan. He was selected by Mrs. Jennifer Vandenberg, and he is the son of Jacob and Mercedes Ryan. For our Christmas Care service project this year, we decided to do Change for a Cause. We're going to give the money that is collected to the local care or the local food banks and let them decide how they need to spend that money. Right now, we're sitting at over $1,300. So I can't decide if this is a good thing or not because the winning class will get to pie Evan and myself. So we can't decide like if this was a privilege or what. But we decided that we'll continue to collect the money until December 17th. So right now, Mrs. Simpson's class is in the lead and she's collected over $254. For AR, our 2nd through 6th grade students have met the second 9 weeks AR goal. We're sitting at 3,366 points. I have 3 students right now that have read over 100 points, so I'll be taking them out to eat. It has been requested that they either go to Miller Time or Mi Tierra, so I have a feeling we're going to be going out of town this time. We're busy working on our benchmark assessments for winter. This is our time to see how we are keeping on track with our standards at this time. We do have a Holly Jolly Spirit Week planned for the week of December 15th through the 19th. And if you look on the back side here with some of our ideas, we have Merry Monday, Twinkle Tuesday, Winter Wonderland Wednesday, Santa's Workshop Thursday, and a Festive Friday. So those are our days for our Holly Jolly Spirit Week. Some of our things coming up, this Friday we have a 3-year-old family event. Our music program is coming up next Monday. We have the Ag in the Classroom coming on the 17th. Our 2nd graders are going to the community center. And then we have our winter parties coming up on December 19th. Then we have a teacher work day on January 5th. And that's kind of where we're at right now. you guys have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How are you this evening? On December 9th, we'll have our winter music program, which will be tomorrow night. And on the 15th, we'll continue our Christmas in the Commons. We have trees up already, but there'll be more. And our Little Dragons Daycare open house, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. On the 18th, we'll be taking the kids to a movie in Lucas. Then on the 19th, that'll be the end of the 9 weeks. It'll be a half day, as Shay said. At 12:30, there'll be no preschool, and it's a staff work day with a Christmas party. Then on the 22nd through the 5th will be the winter break, and then teachers return on the 5th, and on the 6th, students return. Our daycare update is we have 5 friends that are enrolled either full-time or part-time, and we will be having the Soup Supper fundraiser event to help with some daycare play equipment. So I'll talk a little bit about that here in just a moment. I did want to bring to your attention, we've experienced or are going to experience a little reduction in our student enrollment, and this is due to some moving out of district and to some family issues that have caused this. So when we come back on January 6th, I will have dropped 5 students by then. So we'll be down to 58 K through 6, and then 10 pre-K as of right now. Hopefully nothing else happens. Hopefully we'll go the other way. That'll be the hope. So in response to our feedback from our recent survey, our team is working to prepare a newsletter. The first of those just went out, or should be going out this week. We received a generous donation from the Wilson Run Fund. I think it was received. I didn't see the check yet, but I did talk with the Wilson Communication team, and she did say it would either be this week or early next week. So, and that should be in the amount of about $2,500. And these funds will be used in a variety of ways to support student learning, enhance STEM opportunities, and provide additional materials to enrich the educational experience for our students. And we want to thank those donors for their generosity in contributing this fund. The Wilson Run Fund was actually originally began to do some repair and maintenance on the track at Wilson, but when the high school closed, within those funds sat, and so now they're coming back. But they do, it's stipulated that those funds be utilized only at Wilson School. The Little Dragons Daycare fundraiser received $1,200 towards the purchase of much needed play equipment. And so I know Shondel's here tonight. She's here. The contribution marks an important step in creating a safe and engaging outdoor space for our children, but it's not enough. And so we're going to continue to do different fundraising opportunities so that we can continue to work toward providing the best environments for our littlest dragons. Christmas in the Commons, I would like to cordially invite all of the board members, Mr. Murphy, district staff, and community members to our annual Christmas in the Commons celebration. This year's theme is On the Farm. Our Christmas trees will be beautifully decorated with festive farm-inspired ornaments, and Dudley will make a special appearance, all decked out in Sandy. In addition, our daycare will host the open house featuring homemade soup, fresh bread, and cinnamon rolls, and students will also be decorating Christmas cookies for everyone to enjoy. And we hope you'll all join us to experience the creative decorations and take a tour of our daycare. Your presence will make the celebration even more special. One of the things that I'd like to start doing is something called a sizzle snout, and that is Dudley's way of giving someone a attaboy. And so the Wilson Elementary staff are some of the most dedicated educators and support staff in Kansas. They arrive early, stay late, volunteer their time, resources, advice, and so much more. From conversations about how to resolve conflict to learning nonsensical words, each classroom embodies the true magic of learning. This month's Dudley Sizzle Snout shout out goes to our SPED team. To put their contributions to our school into words would be brutal. Let's just say without them, some of the most magical learning moments wouldn't be possible. Thank you for all you do for each of our staff, and most importantly for each student. You may make us sizzle just a bit for
What time is your Christmas in the fall?
us. We're starting at 5, right?
5,
5, that's when the
September
dinner
starts
starts,
at 5.
at 5.
All right, this month I have for you, we have an author visit. We're going to Ellenwood on Wednesday, taking about 90 kids to listen to, he wrote a book about the Holocaust, so we're going to take them there to listen to that. We're going to do a movie and readathon day on Friday this week, so students can watch a movie if they have their AR goal or have a little bit of extra time if they haven't had a chance to get that goal completed yet. And then we'll do a school breakfast and tournament day on Friday the 19th, which is just a half a day before school. Before school's out for break. So I do have quite a bit of things on our activities and athletics report this week or this month to share with you. Our junior high basketball has had 5 games so far, and our high school basketball began on Friday night, so everybody's rolling there. Our Scholars Bowl has attended 3 meets so far this year, and they have a couple more coming up here right after break. Something I just kind of wanted to put on your radar, we do have to have shot clocks here coming up. Those will be, 1A doesn't have to do them for this next year, but they will be required for the following year. Keisha has decided not to charge us dues for the next couple years for basketball, so that to kind of offset the cost of those shot clocks. So Pat and I will sit down and see if we can figure out which ones we want to do for that, and then we'll also probably need to think about which other gyms in our area also need to have those, so that we can play varsity basketball not just solely in our gym here. So I do have some designs for the gym floor for you guys to just take a peek at. The guy that is in the company that's doing our floors is out of Mineola. And so this guy that is the paint designer is out of Holcomb. And so these are just a couple of ideas that we threw together. I would love some feedback. If you guys just want to let me know if there's something that you really like, or if there's a design that you would prefer to see, or if there's something you really don't like, so that we don't go toward that direction. So actually, a couple of the students have put together some of these ideas in some of the different classes that we have. So I'm excited that they got a little bit of input in there. So now you guys aren't going to listen to anything else I have to say. Just as we're sitting here, the gym is being used right now. You know, we are having an influx of gym usage this winter because the other gym is quite chilly. So that's been kind of an interesting maneuvering everybody around to get gym time right now. There will be a winter moratorium for high school athletes and junior high athletes from December 23rd to December 27th, so the gyms will be closed during that time for our students here. And then we had a Keisha admin meeting, so I just put a couple of notes on there for you, so you would kind of know, be in the loop on some things that are coming up. As I mentioned, the shot clock for 1A will start not this next coming year, but the following year it will be mandated. And in our league right now, Ellenwood has been using the shot clock. So when we play in Ellenwood next Thursday, we'll have a shot clock. That'll be kind of the first time that we come across that. Some things that were proposed, and I put on there a proposal because they are just proposals at this point. We all voted on them. They were wanting to add additional moratoriums during the summer, basically 1 per month. Those of you who have athletes right now, or you remember from your children, that week of July 4th has always been a moratorium so that families have a chance to travel. They're looking at adding an additional one right after seasons are concluded. Not baseball and softball season, because they're looking at adding another week to their season, but right after track, that week, that track state tournament, they're looking at adding a moratorium there, and then another moratorium in August, just to help with kids having some breaks. I feel like we do a pretty good job here as far as like recognizing those things, especially or into July and August, not doing quite as much, but in bigger schools, if you don't tell them, they will do it. So, they did have some calendar modifications. I mentioned baseball and softball. They're looking at moving back a week to try to get it off of state track weekend. I don't know if any of you have been to the state track meet, but having baseball and softball there causes a lot of traffic, and it's causing a conflict with students. There was also a calendar question about whether we can start practice a week earlier in the fall, but that would not move games up. Games would still be when games start, but they would move the practice day up a week. The big one was they want to use rankings for volleyball and basketball for postseason. So Max Preps, is that right? Max Preps gives you kind of a calculation based on your strength of schedule. The good news is for us, our strength of schedule is very high in all of the things we do, so it's not going to hurt us at all. We would have shook out almost exactly the same. We would have actually been the first seed last year in the basketball tournament. So, and again, cross-country regional sites, they're wanting, and this kind of happened this year, they're going to say like 1A girls and boys might run at this site, but you might also have 3A and 6A or 5A at this site. So they're trying to kind of make it where it is a little bit, the competition is not specifically at sites, so that it's a little more even and fair for the runners. And then finally, there was a discussion about flag football that got voted down quite rapidly. So just trying to figure out where in the world that would even go and when we would do that was that was the discussion. So that was just some notes from my admin meeting. Again, those are all just proposals. Once they kind of vote on it and get that information back out. We've already voted, but they haven't given us the information. I can share that back with you. The last thing I have on there is just the students attended a Jack Kilby Day, and I added some pictures on the next page for you so you can take a look at those. Our play was a success this year. The students performed Murder in the Air, H-E-I-R, and we had roughly 150 attend on Monday night and about 100 on Tuesday night.
Item number 9, the EPI policy.
Okay, so Nurse Amber from Central Plains Elementary School, and I think Nurse Brianna is here from the high school, middle school to present a little information about this policy. So I will turn the floor over to those names.
Good evening, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today about an important student safety initiative, the adoption and implementation of stop FE policy in our schools across the district. So anaphylaxis is a severe life-threatening allergic reaction that occur at any time without warning. According to data included in the CDC guidelines, approximately 25% of severe reactions experienced at school are among children who have no previous diagnosis of an allergy, which I thought was pretty interesting. And so in moments like these, immediate access to epinephrine is not just helpful, it's also the first line of life-saving treatment. We do have students who have EpiPens who have food allergies, but this is for more like the people that go outside and get stung by a bee, and we don't have that access. And the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology recommends that you use Epi even if you're not sure it's needed, because the benefits greatly outweigh the risk, and the side effects of using EpiPen accidentally are usually temporary and less severe than the consequences of having a severe allergic reaction. There's Kansas statutes that do allow our school to carry stock Epi. It has to be the pen. There is a new nasal spray called Neffy out, but the state said that we cannot use that in schools currently. It's pretty straightforward, the statutes. We have to have a provider to write the script for us, which I already spoke with Dr. Kayla Johnson, and she is for this. We have to make sure we're safe safely storing it, and that it's not accessible for like just a student to just grab it. Making sure the expiration dates are good. What else? It can only be given by people who are trained in student personnel, which our staff is already trained to use EpiPens, usually at our first in-service, because we do have students who have EpiPens. There's training requirements that are listed in the statutes that are pretty straightforward. And then we do have liability, one of the statutes does have liability protection for individuals in the school or shielded from civil damages if epinephrine is administered in good faith and according to the law. As a health professional entrusted with the safety of our students, I cannot emphasize enough the value and urgency of implementing stock epinephrine in our school. This is a simple, effective, and compassionate measure that can prevent tragedy. Do you guys have any questions?
How many would we keep on hand?
So we would probably keep 2. So they come in sets of 2. We would probably keep a set of juniors, which are for the littler kids, and then the like they're just called the epinephrine, right? They come in 2 as well for like the older kids. So probably 4. And there is a program called, I think it's EpiPen for free or something, that if we qualify for it, we could get, like each school could get 1 set each. So 1 EpiPen junior and 1 regular EpiPen if we qualify for it.
What's the shelf life? Like, how long?
I'm not sure on that. I know with our others, emergency medications, we have it to like 2 years. So.
Would those be kept like in a lockbox or how? Like,
They would be kept with our other locked up medication. So at the elementary school, that is kept in the elementary office. We have a lock cabinet that we keep it in. It's monitored and locked throughout the day. It has our Narcan in there and our other kids' emergency meds. And it would be clearly labeled like that it's school supply, so that we weren't accidentally grabbing students.
And we just recently acquired a lockbox for the high school as well. Have one here. I'm not sure about Wilson.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
that's, but I'm assuming that she also has a lock safe in her office.
And we've also talked to the school nurse over at Wilson, and she is in agreement with this as well. So.
what's the protocol, or how would you know when to administer one? Like,
There's a little sheet that I have printed out, that would be part of like our policy that lists like the recognition of the severe symptoms from mild to, so it could be anywhere from shortness of breath, wheezing, tightness in the throat, hives, with widespread redness. And then it also says like for mild symptoms for more than 1 system area, you're supposed to give epinephrine. So if they're complaining of like itchy mouth, have hives, you're supposed to just go ahead and give it.
Do you guys have any other questions for us? Thank you guys for your time.
thank you. And then just obviously just for people watching or listening, I mean, of course, the following protocol, proper steps and procedures would be taken after that was administered as well, as far as contacting proper healthcare providers and parents and everything else. Any other questions?
I move to accept the EPI policy as presented.
Motion by Allison,
I'll second.
and a second by Josh. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Item number 10, KISA 2.0.
Okay, so at our last board meeting, we had a little bit of a conversation about our KISA 2.0. We did get a chance to visit with our teachers, and they are on board with moving forward with standards alignment for the fundamental and professional collaboration with the structure. And this is the plan that we talked about, specifically dealing with math as our pinpointed discipline that we are trying to grow. So we're working on this, and we are very close to having it completed. We have one more meeting tomorrow with administrators to make sure we're all on board, and then we're going to get it submitted for KSD approval to move forward in that direction. Hopefully we'll hear something back before Christmas break. Usually they give us a little bit of feedback on that to just modify something if it needs to be changed to meet their requirements, and then we'll just get the ball rolling in that direction as soon as we come back from Christmas break. So I just want to give you guys a little feedback just on this informational topic moving forward. So.
And then item number 11, the donation.
So we do have the Run Wilson organization that has approximately $2,500 that was originally designated for the fundraiser to replace the track at Wilson. They're wanting this donation to go to the Wilson School for needs that they have at their school building. So we do have that donation for your guys' approval.
I'm going to check with the donation for 2 USD rental for Wilson School.
Second. Motion by Kayla, second by Allison. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. And then item number 12, capital outlay item.
Okay, so we do have a couple updates that I wanted to include you guys in with the gym ladder that we talked about at the last board meeting. So we did receive another bid from Brentwood Builders that's attached. That was for $9,439. Just as a refresher, that would be the ladder that's inside that is customized to kind of have an outside shell to get us from the platform up top up to the rooftop units above the gym. So right now they're using a ladder to get up there, and it's quite dangerous is the easiest way to put it. So the bid from Cruise that we got was $16,834 for the ladder as well. So we do have a couple of bids there. So we still have the 3 bids for Wilson Library as well. We did get another bid for football lights that came in. We have one bid for the football lights at $224,000, and then another one that came in for $220,000. So those are comparable. And then we don't have any new bids at this time for the entryways at the high school. But with us working on the boiler system at Wilson Elementary School right now, we need to get that up and running and make sure that's going to run before we can move forward with anything else. So they're about 95% sure it is 2 of the drives in that boiler that they did order and are supposed to be getting those in quickly to get those replaced. I want to make sure that we don't fall in that other 5% of that not being what that boiler needs to run. So if we're looking at a new boiler, we're looking upwards of $100,000 for a boiler for that building. So I don't really want to recommend moving forward with any of these until we know that that boiler system is going to run and we have heat. Right now, we do have heat in the classrooms because of the split units that we put in this past year having the heat component. So that was a good decision to put those in. So I was really hoping to hear from the boiler company today. Did not hear anything from them. So if I don't hear from them by tomorrow, I will put in a call to see where they're at on those pieces to get that running. So just giving you guys a little bit of background on where we're at and the direction we're going with that, so you guys have some of the updates that we have as well. So one other item I'd like to add as well, for the Claflin daycare that Advancing Barton Child Care is building right here at Claflin, they are to the point where they are needing siding color and shingle color. So over here on the front, we do have the colors that are in the price point for the siding and the shingles as well. I have to let them know by tomorrow morning what color of siding that we're going to go with. So pressure's on. We did have our community members that have been invested in that project come by, and they put a sticky note on the ones that they think would blend the best. So I did leave that sticky note there for you guys to look at and kind of give your opinion on what the siding and the roofing should look like on that. So questions on any of the capital outlay items? where we're at right now.
Mr. President, I move that the board go into the executive session pursuant to the Kansas Open Meeting Act to discuss non-elected personnel for the topics of certified staff, supplemental staff to protect the privacy of the individuals to be discussed with Mr. Murphy present, and return an open session in this room at 6:50.
Yes, sir.
Second. Motion by Josh and second by Allison. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
just wanted to give you guys an update. So I wanted to give you a box modular update. Communication's been really tough at this point. Still waiting on the blueprints. I emailed Lee last week on Wednesday, didn't get back with me till got back with me on Thursday. He said we would have an answer on where the blueprints were at on Friday, and still at the end of the day, no answer on getting those blueprints. So I can't move forward with the bidding process. My hope really was to try to have some of the bids done. Well, at least to you guys this month, but that did not happen. So still going to be on them to try to get those blueprints done so we can get those, at least the bidding process organized and sent out for the groundwork. So the electricity, the concrete, those sorts of things. We do have budget price points from what we talked about earlier this year, but we still are going to have to get 3 bids on everything, or at least solicit 3 bids. So, kind of, you guys have already heard about some of the daycare updates on numbers, and then we talked about the Claflin one as well. I did have a conversation with Debbie that's going to be the one getting the daycare up and running. She ran the daycare in Hoisington whenever the one was open there. I think it's still open right beginnings, I think is what she said. So their hope is to have that daycare up and running by August. That's their hope. So they're over there getting some things done, working on it. So that's what we're going to shoot for, and we'll see where we end up. I want to give you a virtual update credit as well. So we're still up after last month, about 100 more credits than we were at last year at this time. So all signs are still pointing to us republishing that part of the budget. I want to give you guys, we did have some damage to one of our runways for our long jump pit that we're looking at options for. It looked like a mower turned quickly and got a chunk out of it on one side of it. So we're looking at some other options on what just a rollout mat's going to cost for a runway, but also looking at options, if there are any options of not spending that money and looking at moving those to where conversation was before, maybe not doing the whole thing and maybe just doing 1 pit or 2 pits. I don't want to spend a couple $1,000s on a rollout mat if we know we're going to end up moving it here in the next year or 2. So we're just looking at some options there, and I'll get you guys that information once we get a little bit further. And I did want to visit with you guys. Barton County did receive a grant that's called the 911 Mapping Grant Project for Barton County Schools. So they were awarded this emergency preparedness grant to have all schools in Barton County mapped out in case of an emergency. So they need the floor plans, those sorts of things. So since the high school, middle school is located in Barton County, if you guys are okay with that, we're going to go ahead and submit our plans and everything for them to go ahead and map that out, just in case there is ever an emergency that we do have it mapped out for anything that we need to have. So I'd like to see how that's done and what works with that, because we might look at doing something like that in our other buildings if we deem that it's something that's going to be successful and help out on the emergency side. So those are the items I have on the superintendent's report.
Any board member reports? Any open agenda items? Items for next month's agenda.
So a few things on there. We do have a resolution for board meeting dates, time and location as well, personnel, and then we'll need our board member representative for negotiations as well. I think Chad served in that realm last year, just to give you a little bit of feedback, and then also our officers as well for next month's agenda. And then we'll have a capital outlay list and kind of hopefully know where we're at on that boiler system at the elementary school. So.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. So motion by Allison. Second by Josh. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you, everybody.
Chicken wraps.
Shirley, there are chicken wraps in there. I think I told you that. So. I need to put one in there also.
Shirley, are you going to remain on the board?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
Somebody else will have a chance.
Thank you. Shirley, thank you for stepping in for the past few months.
Yeah.
I just want to help out, so.
Well, thank you then.
Nice meeting everybody, get to know everybody.
Yes.
You're probably
See what she put down.